Welcome back to Take It Outside. Let's go check out a place right here in Northwest Ohio that deals with two of my favorite things, conservation and cute animals. Nature's Nursery is a one-of-a-kind organization located on the outskirts of White House, Ohio. They operate out of a small farmhouse where their dedicated staff and a team of volunteers do some amazing work to care for and to rehabilitate injured local wildlife. They also educate children and adults alike about the creatures that live right in our backyards. We're here today to get the scoop on what Nature's Nursery does, how they got started, and most importantly, why they keep on doing it. To learn more, let's go talk to Laura Zitzelberger, the operations director of Nature's Nursery.
Well, we do a lot. We're a wildlife rehabilitation center. We take in injured and orphaned wildlife with the intentions of getting them back out into the wild. We started in May of 1989, and the way we got started was my friend had worked at the zoo and I had worked at the zoo, and calls were always coming into the zoo from people who were wanting to find help for injured and orphaned wild animals, and there was no place to send the calls. So when she quit her job at the zoo, she looked into what it would take to start a rehabilitation center, and found out you have to have a state license to take care of mammals and a state and a federal license to take care of birds. So when we got our permits, we called the zoo, the park, the Humane Society, the vet clinics, the police, anybody we could think of that might get phone calls, and said, send the calls our way. And so, like I said, started out with 159 animals the first year and thought we were pretty busy. And then the next year we took in 550, the year after that 850. And we've been averaging about 2,500 animals a year. Just went over that a little bit last year.
As you just heard, Nature's Nursery is one busy place. They've got a lot of different animals to attend to for a variety of reasons. Let's go see how these creatures are taken care of once they arrive.
We have our animals that we do rehabilitation with, and then if an animal can't be rehabilitated and go back out into the wild, a small percentage of them will be good candidates for being an education ambassador here at Nature's Nursery or at another facility. So the animals that we have in the lower part of our building are all non-releasable education animals. We do have some domestics as well that we use for education. But all of the native wildlife is here because it, for one reason or another, it can't go back out into the wild. And then once it gets here, it gets admitted, there's lots of paperwork for the state and feds. And then the animal will go up into our clinic, get his exam, and from there we decide if it's something that we can fix, and what our process is going to be, and try to figure out how long this animal is going to be here, and what we need to do with it while it's here.
So where in a farmhouse are we going to find a place to operate on an owl?
We are in the clinic. This is where every animal comes when it's initially admitted, and it goes through an exam, and here's where we decide what the treatments are going to be and where it's going to go at the facility from this point. And I'm just going to, while we've got him, check and make sure that he's staying nice and filled out while he's here. He's been eating good, hasn't he? Yeah, he likes his free meals. So,
Don't we all?
but yeah, when he initially came in, we did everything from, look in the ears, the eyes, make sure there was no blood in his ears, checked his weight, looked over, his bone structure and everything to check the mouth to make sure that there wasn't blood in the mouth. So all of that happens when they initially come in, and he's looking good. It probably won't be too long before he gets moved outside to an outside cage and gets to start exercising again and prove to us that he can be released again.
Once an animal has been checked out and is ready to heal up, it's sent over to the nursery section of Nature's Nursery, where you never know what you're going to find. Let's go with Laura and see what that's all about.
So yeah, this is our nursery / intensive care unit. So after animals have been in the clinic, they're going to come to this. It's a little bit of a, like a step down area before they go to the outdoor enclosures to spend some time before release.
It is so inspiring to know that there are people out there working hard to rehabilitate injured wildlife. But with this kind of work comes some harsh realities.
Sadly, a lot of the animals that come in, I'd say, about half or a little less than half are going to die or have to be humanely euthanized because wild animals generally don't let you catch them unless they're already in really bad shape. A lot of people will say, I think they know you're trying to help them. They don't really know we're trying to help them. We're a predator, and it's very stressful for them to be around us, so we are very conscious of that. And so how we decide to proceed when an animal comes in will have a lot to do with how the stress level of that animal too.
I know after you sit there and watch all these cute and cuddly animals roll across your screen, you're thinking to yourself, how can I get involved with Nature's Nursery? Well, good thing I got an answer for you.
I'd say the two best ways are our Facebook page and then also our website, which is natures-nursery.org. And those are two good ways to start, to learn a little bit more about us and see what all we do. We are always available for them to call and ask questions, whether it's about donating, volunteering, or what services we provide if they found something.
To say that I had a great time at Nature's Nursery is an understatement. I got to hold an owl, learn about some awesome creatures, and hang out with some people that really care about what they do.
The big thing I want people to know is that our goal is to get people to have an appreciation for the wildlife that they share their backyards with and learn to respect what those animals can do. And so I think that you don't have to like everything that a wild animal may be doing to respect that it has a reason to be there.
Seriously, that was like one of the top 10 coolest things I've ever gotten to do. Thank you so much, Laura, for letting me hold an owl and letting us come to Nature's Nursery. Hopefully we'll be checking back in with you again soon. But now we're gonna go check out one of the coolest places in Northwest Ohio to take a selfie. The Spot, as it is so endearingly known, is a secret location within Oak Openings Preserve. It has become one of the most popular places to visit and take photographs of in the area and has spread across the internet like wildfire over the last several years. The Spot itself is a 4-acre patch of red pine trees found right in the center of Oak Openings. These trees were planted about 60 years ago, and the reason for this was to keep the sand from blowing around, to help prevent soil erosion, and the wood was eventually going to be sold as timber and Christmas trees, but hey, nobody ever got around to it. And because of this, many of the pine stands in the Oak Openings fell into disarray. Thanks to social media sites, the spot has become rediscovered by tourists and photographers the world over. To get more information on the history and the future of the pine trees that make up the spot, let's go talk with Tim Gallagher, Natural Resources Manager for the Metro Parks of Toledo.
Upwards of 300 acres here in Oak Openings was planted in pines to stabilize the soils. Not a lot of thought went into, I think, where they put species in different soils, so some trees are not compatible with the soils that they're in.
Why red pines?
I mean, obviously they give this unique look to the spot, different than some of your Scotch pines or your white pines could offer. They self-prune very nicely. When I mean self-prune, they kind of allow for a nice clear bowl all the way to the top. White pines tend to hang on to their limbs, most of the way to the top, look kind of ragged, so that the red pines give it that nice look.
To better understand what the future holds for the spot, Tim took us all around the park to show us pine stands that are in a state of collapse and to explain why this is happening.
Pine stands that are susceptible to collapse. They've been unmanaged, they're susceptible to beetle kill. In '88, we lost a large portion of particularly the red pines, to a drought where the pines were unable to defend themselves against pine-boring beetles, and then eventually just collapsed after that.
It seems that the story of the pines of the Oak Openings is very complex and has had long-lasting and unintended consequences over the course of the years. In order to understand the hype surrounding the spot, my cameraman Jeff, our friend James, and yours truly decided to go out and explore it for ourselves. And did I mention that James brought along his adorable little puppy?
That's right, just take it in.
With cameras in hand, we set out to do as they do here at the spot. To have fun, to get weird, and to take pictures. Lots and lots of pictures. What we discovered out here is that it is nearly impossible to take an unflattering picture, even for unfortunate-looking souls such as Jeff and myself. The spot has a natural cathedral-like beauty, and the lighting, no matter what time of the day, is out of this world. Native tree species or not, this location really does have an awesome energy about it. The spot is a fantastic place to take a selfie, to enjoy a sunset, or even to spend just a few moments of connection with the natural world. And guess what? I'm not going to tell you where it's at. If you're lucky enough to be able to find it on your own, check it out because, as you just learned, it won't be around forever. Instead of yammering on about cool tree facts all day, I'm just gonna let the spot speak for itself. Peace out.